all you cool cats and kittens. We're here with Mama Becky, and I think I missed feeding time.
Yeah, we were afraid it was going to start storming because it was spitting rain. Plus it gets dark so early now.
You know, months ago, Jamie told me that it was going to rain tomorrow. And I was like, how would you even know that it's going to rain tomorrow all that time ago? And it looks like she could be right.
I asked her today if she found anything in her mailbox.
What'd you put in her mailbox?
I put a bag of her favorite candy, those pumpkins that are made out of the stuff like candy corn.
Oh, yes, she loves those.
And it was a little note it says, Mama Jamie, we love you, from Will and Farrell.
Aww.
I said,
so sweet.
Will wanted to give you some ground beef, but I told him you probably wouldn't like it. What is that?
What a face. What
was that? How about a piece of red? How about a piece of red? No?
Well, guess he told us what's what.
Well, he ate a couple pieces of red, and then he ate several pieces of turkey breast, but now he's acting like the turkey breast is poison.
Hang on, everybody. I gotta straighten up this camera.
Yeah, it can't rain tomorrow. Party.
That would be terrible.
All right, let me get the tongs. That'd be so much easier to pick it up with, huh, Joseph?
Gosh. And now I've turned it around the wrong way.
Not this stick. Good job. Hello.
Hi.
He's already gotten all his meds. Now he's just eating some dinner.
What has your day been like?
My day has been crazy. But we got a lot done today. So Duchess's cage got cleaned out. Helen and Dragon's other half got cleaned out. Lots and lots of tours today.
It's a nice day for it because it was overcast and cool.
Yeah. The breeze has been nice. It didn't rain. I thought it was going to rain just a little while ago, but it went around us. Becky and I were trying to hurry because we thought we were going to get caught doing meds, but it looks like it went around.
Maybe I can hold this with my feet and get this thing straightened out here.
I wish I had a camera so that I could see that. That's hilarious. Alright, bud?
The machine is not liking it.
Need this piece that you dropped.
It's a little better.
I got dropped. There's one in the den that I have to dig out.
Thank you for posting that link to our cages.
Hi. You gonna say hello to everybody? Yeah. Thank you.
Robin, I know about Duchess and the vacation rotation, but nothing we have is as much fun as what she has.
Yeah, we
She's
tried
not going to
food.
trade it in.
We tried food and she did not want to come over to us for food. She had her own food.
It looks like shake and bake now.
It does. It's kind of coated. It's all coated now with some sand.
You won't want it now.
Yeah, you're not going to want that now. But I don't want the bugs and everything to get it while you're sleeping in there later. That's got to come out.
For those who are asking about cages, Zeus has 2 cages. Each one is 1,800 square feet. Each one has a den, big rock den like that, that's 8 feet by 12 feet inside. And each one has 2 pools. He has 2 pools.
But he ate all his medicating.
And they get 2-week vacations in the 2.5-acre vacation rotation, which is where Duchess is tormenting an ibis right now.
He turned his nose up at the red, and of course that's what I had his med in. So then I gave him a piece of turkey breast, and he ate it, so then he ate 2 pieces of red. And he ate a couple more pieces of turkey breast. He ate the turkey drum, and now he's acting like the turkey breast is poison him.
Love it.
Hey, Pamela. Well, we missed a lot of the feeding because it looked like it was going to rain. So, I'm going to see if I can get down there while Cameron's still roaring. Maybe we'll just go check on some of the cats.
At the Texas Tiger's nest.
Oh, okay. 2 tigers, no waiting. Aren't you 2 being cute? Yeah, you're just being so cute. Good luck getting us separated. Should park right in front of us here. Keeping an eye on Amanda back there. These guys have like 5 cages. So those 1,800 square foot cages I was telling you about, they got 5 of them all hooked together. And there's 3 cats. They're siblings. Oh, listen to Amanda chopping. She's got to get them separated so that they don't fight over the food.
She's just asking Amanda away, because Arthur and Andre are both on meds. Hey, hey, hey!
Dude, no!
No, somebody's got to go back over here. Hey! Hey!
Who's the lucky tiger to go first? Mike, thank you for the donation.
Alright, you got yours. You should get that door closed. Here.
He's holding his ear down.
Come here. Lisa Sabu is doing fine.
Hey! Why are you holding your ear down? Huh? I know. Tell me about it.
Sorry, Mandy.
Tell me about it. I know. He's like, wait a minute, this ain't fair. He's getting a whole bunch.
She doesn't need your paws up in it.
I know. He thought I needed help. He thought I needed help. We've got to give him some extra food because he's on a lot of antibiotics and we don't want it to upset his stomach. So he gets a couple pounds of food with his meds, don't you?
We do groom them anytime they are sedated for a medical procedure, but other than that, they're not going to let us go home.
I know, I'm going as fast as I can, okay? Okay. One more? I should have said that piece for Amanda since she's been so good. Yes.
Did she not get a piece?
No. Are you good? All right, I'm done. Oh, good. She's got something for Amanda.
She's not gonna get nothing.
I was worried about her.
I know, because she's so skinny.
She's very excited to get hers. Amanda doesn't need any medications because she's in perfectly good health. She's not arthritic like her brother. And so she doesn't understand why they get a treat and she doesn't. So we asked her to make sure she got one.
Can I
hungry. Wow, this owie is so very red.
Try to leave it alone.
Hey, Arthur. Asa. Asa.
Go see Becky.
Hey,
Go there.
come here. Arthur.
Oh, goodness. I want to see that leg. I want to see that leg.
Oh, yeah, he's not
I
messing.
do. All I'm seeing is
Open
your
it when
face.
he's so red.
All I'm seeing is your face.
Putting a cone on him
I don't think they make one strong enough.
We'll
called a
wait.
satellite dish.
We'll wait till tomorrow.
Oh, there goes Goodies.
But it's still pretty red.
Yeah. I'll see if I can catch him tomorrow.
bite
when he's
his
ready for
ears.
cleaning. See if I can get a picture of it then. Yeah.
You notice he's holding his right ear down?
I have the feeling Cameron's already been fed. But we'll see. Did you already get your dinner? Did you get it? Did they get this kitty lion something? James, if you go to bigcatrescue.org/get-involved, there's lots of ways that people can get involved from other places in the country. You don't have to necessarily be here to volunteer. Of course, if you want to work with cats, you have to be here to volunteer. Hey, Vivica. And I missed the question, but yes, we are the end of the line for big cats. When they come here, they stay until they die. And we have rescued over 250 cats in our 25 years, big cats. We've rescued over 500 domestic cats and kittens through our foster kitten program. Are these tigers being loud down there? They sure are. We have amazing volunteers here. All of the animal care is done by volunteers. We have about 14 or 15 paid staff, but our paid staff only do administrative work. They don't do animal care because people will do animal care for free. So we put our donors' dollars to the best possible use by making sure that the animals get expert training from our expert keepers. All of our keeper training is over at zoocollege.com. And if you are curious as to whether or not you have what it takes to take care of big cats, you might want to take that course. It's a really inexpensive way to see just how much is involved in taking care of lions and tigers and leopards and cougars and bobcats. Melissa, the cats, all of the big cats are solitary by nature except for lions, and lions only like others who were born into their own prides. They don't want to be associating with other cats or animals. Cameron here lives with a tiger, Zabu, but we would not have done something that stupid. People ignorantly go all gaga over odd couples, and the place where they came from was trying to breed ligers, which is a product of breeding lions and tigers. So as soon as they got here, we separated them until they were healthy enough to spay and neuter, and they still live together because they were raised together and they like each other. But for the most part, that doesn't happen. Usually once lions or tigers get to be adults, they don't want anything to do with anybody else, especially tigers. Thank you, Vicki. You guys will have to be sure that you sign up for our messenger chatbot. If you guys have never done that, if you're on the Facebook page, there is a button that says message, I think. If you send us a message, any kind of message, then that will get you subscribed into our, well, just sending us a message won't, but then we'll send you a message back and we'll ask you a little bit about yourself. And when you answer any of those questions, then it will subscribe you so that whenever we go live, we try to give you notification that we're going live. I didn't do it today because I had just sent out a message. I didn't want to send too many messages because we're respectful of your inbox. But you might want to sign up because Monday there's going to be a new rescue cat arriving, and it's going to be very exciting, and you're all going to want to see it, and I'm not going to tell you anything till Monday, so you got to sign up and be sure that you're subscribed to Messenger so that you'll find out about that. Sadly, I saw somebody on here just ask about Warrior. Warrior was about a 10-month-old bobcat who was hit by a car up in Homosassa Springs, and he was so badly addled from it that a passerby was able to pick him up, stick him in a cat carrier, and took him to a rehabber, a lovely lady by the name of, what is her name? I'm skipping on it. Diane? Oh, I can't believe I can't remember her name. I just talked to her yesterday. Anyway, there's two lovely ladies that run Nature's Wildlife Rescue, I think, is what it's called. Anyway, if you search Nature's Wildlife Rescue in Homosassa, you'll find it. And they mostly rescue possums and other small type animals, and bobcats take a lot of space. Our bobcat rehab areas are bar none the best in the world, and so she knew about us and she called me and asked if we would take the cat, which of course we would. So we went and got the cat and brought him back here, and he was clearly his bell had been rung. He wasn't, well, I started to say he wasn't resisting. He was resisting a little. He was taking a few swipes at us, but he wasn't being as crazy wild as bobcats usually are. And he wasn't bleeding. He didn't have any cuts or abrasions. We used sticks from outside the cage. We put the sticks up underneath him and lifted him up to see whether or not there were any broken bones. And he was able to stand. He could sit. He could turn around. He was able to lay down and shift positions all on his own. So we figured, okay, as long as there's nothing major broken that, is like going to poke through the skin or cause him any real misery, then probably the best thing to do is just let him sleep it off overnight. And because when they're in shock and then you sedate them, it's really dangerous to sedate them in the first place. And sometimes of course you have to do it, but we wanted to let him at least have overnight to kind of stabilize before we did that, and he died overnight. So we went ahead and did a necropsy. It's not required by law that we do it, but we wanted to know, was there anything that we should have done or that we could have done better that we might have been able to save his life. And what we found was one of his lungs was just like totally trashed. Like the vet said, it was just this gray, sludgy kind of matter, and it made me think, well, maybe it'd been like that for a long time, and maybe that's why he got hit by a car. Was he didn't have quite the wind that you would expect a bobcat to have. Could have happened in the accident, but the way he made it sound from the deterioration of the lung tissue, it didn't sound like it just happened today or yesterday. I see somebody just donated privately. Thank you very much. But in addition to that, his organs were all smashed and bleeding and bruised, and the spinal column right where his hips were was crushed. So it was really weird that he could stand up and that he could sit up, and he was real wobbly, but still I wouldn't have thought that he could do that at all with a broken back, and there wouldn't have been anything that we could do about that. But just the level of internal bleeding is probably what ended up killing him. And there was no, he wasn't bleeding from any of his orifices. Usually if they have one lung, even Apache his whole life only had one lung, and you could tell every time you heard him breathe, you could tell that he had trouble with his lungs. And there was no sign whatsoever of this cat having a hard time breathing. He wasn't breathing through his mouth. Just nothing that gave us any indication that he was in as bad a shape as he was. So it was very sad we put a camera on him, in fact, and you guys helped us watch him last night, but there were two sections of the cage, and he was in the furthest section away from the camera, and of course we turned the lights down so that it'd be nice and quiet in there. The cat would feel the comfort of being in the dark. He had sheets over the cage as well, but he never came down close enough to the camera overnight, to set it off. It would record if he had moved around there anytime overnight. And so first thing this morning when Catherine went in to take care of him, she found that he had passed. And the only good news was that it looked like he had passed in his sleep. And he didn't show any signs of being in distress, so all I can hope is that his brain was swollen enough that he wasn't feeling anything or experiencing the terror of being in a cage that would have been normal for any wild bobcat. So that was sad. We've had over 45 bobcat calls that we can remember. There's probably been a whole lot more than that, but we only, in the last couple of years, decided we should be keeping track of this and tried to remember all of the different stories that we had and going back and pulling all the records. And so there's been 45 of them. And of course, I'd say probably half of them, at least, we've been able to save. But unfortunately, Warrior was not one of them. Bill, I'm glad that's not you that's being carried around out there by Duchess. I'm always worried that he will be because he's such a beautiful bird and I really enjoy his company. So, are you guys still there? The International Fund for Animal Welfare sends a text and calls the accredited sanctuaries whenever there is a cat in need, and that was them. So I'm going to have to wrap this up and see what's going on over there. As soon as I get to a spot where I can stop the bike. Keisha tiger. All right. I will be checking back in with you guys soon. I hope.